Right, to the right, to the right,
Oh, he's waiting for you, Leash.
Oh
to the
no,
right.
I'm having technical difficulties. There we go.
Got the music going, man.
That's my
Good
Finally
vibes,
got the
man.
groove.
Now I can't get my
Got the
line to
groove
go
and
right.
shit.
Get over there. No, no, not over there. Come on.
Yeah, I had that in
That's
the
how
room the
I
other night.
felt.
I was listening to that. What was I listening to? Nas.
Yeah.
Turner was like, "Oh, turn the music on." Stein was like, "Oh, I was listening to that." Back in and
No.
banging on Oculus controllers.
God damn it. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on.
Do you know how to change?
Yeah, don't do that
You
when
guys
your
see that?
tracking's messed up.
Nobody else saw that. Did you see that, Alicia?
What was it?
Guess not. Never mind.
Ain't working. No, now I can't even get my goddamn thing to come
Yeah,
up.
we're live and we're in there.
And there we go. Oh, I had it for a second.
Almost.
Almost there.
See, that's how I was.
God, I'm so close. It's right there. 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 That was exhausting.
Well, you get that new joystick, man. You'll be all the way
No
turned
kidding.
up.
Hell yeah. I'll be like moving everywhere. Just do-do-do-do-do, no problem.
Be everywhere. In venues without bouncing.
Yes.
I'm just a man on his way to the moon, wishing the rocket would go faster. All the stars remind me of you, yeah they do. I'm on my way to you. I'm just a man on his way to the moon, wishing the rocket would go faster. All the stars remind me of you, yeah they do. I'm on my way to you.
Oh, yeah, I seen somebody posted the other day. They was like, I'm not gonna talk crap to nobody else again. And they had a picture of their TV. It was smashed like they threw the or they smacked it with the joystick. Ooh, that's horrible, man.
That's why I'm afraid to let my kid use
TV,
it.
man.
He ain't
What's
got enough
that?
room in his. That's why I'm afraid to let my kid use it because he ain't got enough room in his room for this shit. He'll be breaking shit.
Yeah, especially if you got one of them old plasma TVs. I remember I had one of them plasmas, man, and you ding it anywhere,
It's
the whole
over.
screen's done. It's done.
Yeah,
The gases are leaking out, and yeah. Anyway, good morning. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Canna-Joe Morning Show live. Today is February the 9th. Am I right?
yes.
You are correct, sir.
February. Let me put this thing down real quick.
Yeah, today
Hands,
is
peekaboo, real quick. Hands.
Marcus's birthday.
February the 9th.
Marcus Hawkins?
Wednesday. And Michael Ford.
Marcus Day.
Good morning, I'm Flag.
Oh,
Alicia, the producer.
Hey.
Devin Dave.
Yeah.
With the bad arm, with the weather.
I'm Vari the man. Thank you guys for joining us in this.
Hey, Vari, you want to pull up our chats over here?
Yeah. Let's bust up this caption.
We don't got nobody on here anyway yet. So we got 8 viewers. Shout out to Facebook. Von Larry.
Yeah.
Every morning, man. Shout out to Von Larry.
Good morning, Bon.
Hey, you got a thing in the corner of your thing, Michael.
Doing stuff, huh? Here. How's that? Did it move? There we go. Boom. Yeah. With that said, yeah, man, we got them Canna-Joe cups rolling and going, man. Shout out to Marcus Philly Phil.
Birthday
Magneto.
today.
Hey,
Happy
I'm
birthday.
not sure if he ever jumps on or if he ever sees us. But if
He
you
does
do, happy
sometimes.
birthday, my dude, man. Shout out NFG. Yeah.
NFG.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Canna-MN. They had a clubhouse. You on Clubhouse?
I am. Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah. Are we friends? Did we add each other on there? I got like
No,
40
your shit's
followers. I know some of them. Would you say
Your
it's
shit's
janky?
I tried to I couldn't even get to your profile. Like I couldn't even find you on there. But I saw Canna-Fativa, but I couldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird.
I have to find you guys on there.
Alicia, I think I follow you on there. We're following each other on Clubhouse. But yeah, they did Canna-MN had a little thing last night, man. So it was a bunch of hemp growers or manufacturers from on there. I think handful of them. It's pretty interesting. They gave us a shout out to the Canna-Joe morning show. Said thank you guys for
Hey,
producing all this wonderful
shout out right back.
AM content with weather and cheers and reefers, no beer, but coffee, Canna-Joe. Anyway, what you got for us today, Vari? Pretty dope articles.
I sure do.
They sound like milk.
Yes.
What do you do?
So we do. First one comes from the Green Entrepreneur, which is a new one that I just found. I was like, damn, the Green Entrepreneur. I might need to subscribe to this. And this is fresh off of the press today. Trailblazing 4 Black cannabis pioneers who changed the game.
By Jordan Smith.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about this for a second. Why is this looking all weird? Why is this here? What is this? Get off. All right.
It's a spam shot. It's a spam site.
All right. So making measurable impact
Immeasurable.
on the echo.
Immeasurable.
Can't tell where it's coming from. It's somewhere in this area. In this area.
Well, I know, guys, when we first started the show, I was muted. So when I got my introduction, I turned it back on. Now we're hearing feedback. So let me just mute again.
Maybe it's here. Let me turn my computer down a little bit here. Does that help?
I think
I'm not muted. I'm not muted.
That's much better. Much better.
Okay, cool. Glad we got that figured out.
so. One of the undeniable realities of the war on drugs is that it had disproportionate impact on the Black cannabis enthusiasts. Even so, there are numerous Black pioneers within the world of cannabis that have made an immeasurable impact. This is the reality. Even though there are a multitude of barriers that have restricted Black entrepreneurs from legal marijuana industry, in fact, some of the ways these pioneers have affected the industry may come as a surprise. There's no better time of year than Black History Month to honor these pioneers. Canna-MDs. 2014, doctors Rachel and Jessica Knox, who are known as the Canna-MDs, founded the American Cannabinoid Clinics in 2014. The purpose of these clinics is to deliver precision cannabinoid medicine to every patient seeking a personalized approach to healing. They got the idea to start the clinic when their mother, Dr. Janice Knox, learned about the diversity of medical marijuana patients, along with the benefits of it while, what's going on here? Along with the benefits of it while her daughters were in college. Now there are multiple clinics operating throughout the state of Oregon. Their impact when it comes to spreading the word about the therapeutic properties of cannabis has been tremendous. Hope Wiseman. Becoming a dispensary owner comes with enough barriers for Black entrepreneurs as is. That's why it's so impressive that a Black woman was able to do so at a young age of 25, making her the youngest Black dispensary owner in the nation. Wiseman graduated from Spelman College, an HBCU, historically Black college university, and has a background as an investment banker. Wiseman operates Mary and Main Dispensary in Prince George's County, Maryland, with the pillars of social activism, education, and philanthropy at the core of her operations. Mary and Main provides a wide range of therapy treatments and products that help customers aid their discomfort that includes topicals, dry herbs, and extracts. Next, we got Wanda Smith. Wanda Smith founded Simply Pure Dispensary with her husband, Scott Dura, in Denver, Colorado in 2010. When they opened the dispensary, they became the first Black dispensary owners in the nation. Since both Wanda and Scott are both veterans, they pride themselves on serving their fellow servicemen and women. Given the fact that they opened Simply Pure at the dawn of cannabis legalization in Colorado, they've been able to adjust accordingly in order to provide one of the best dispensary experiences in Colorado.
Have to visit there.
Have to check that out. Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta go. We gotta go see it.
Brittany Moore and Alfonso T. Blunt Jr. There aren't very many equity-oriented dispensaries out there, and an Oakland couple recognized the need for one. That's why Brittany Moore and Alfonso T. Blunt Jr. opened the first equity dispensary in Oakland, Blunt's Plus More. They're among the earliest benefactories, and an equity program launched in 2017 meant to license Oakland residents with a local cannabis conviction, or who are residents of areas that experience a disproportionately higher number of cannabis-related arrests. Blunts Plus More operates a 4,000 square foot dispensary that offers hundreds of products, including edibles, concentrates, and herbs. Since they're demonstrating an ability to thrive as beneficiaries of the new Oakland Equity Program, there is hope that they're providing a blueprint for other Black entrepreneurs to follow in the future.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So we do got some more articles down here for cannabis brands that can power the Black consumer. Black founders in cannabis and psychedelics are changing how we think. And Black Doctor launches a successful CBD line despite adversity. If you want to check any of those articles out, I'm going to go ahead and drop this link in the comments so you guys can do some exploring.
See,
Oh, we lost Evan Dave with them.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
Good morning, Facebook user. Good morning, Stacy. What's good? What's good?
Hey, Stacy.
Good morning, y'all. Happy Wednesday.
That was a nice article, so that just lets me know I'm getting closer and closer to my goal.
Yes.
Did you get that article Dave dropped this morning? Probably
What was it?
in the chat.
Canna-Joe's chat.
Oh shit! I'm gonna have to try that chair again.
Oh crap!
Oh, damn. Dave, what was that article you had this morning?
I put it. It's in the chat.
Oh,
No,
hold on.
there we go. There we go. I thought that was kind of a interesting one.
Medical dispensary. They got their money seized. Is that what it was?
Yeah, a lot of it too.
Ooh.
Yeah,
A little bit.
yeah. After these messages, we'll be right back. I don't know about that, man. Yeah, that's that old stuff. That cartoons. A little bit.
Right there.
Yeah. Yeah. Here in one moment.
So police seizure of marijuana dispensary cash leads to federal litigation. Why is my thing doing that?
You all right?
Yeah, I got weed on my mouse pad and it keeps. So they knew it was medical cannabis and that they would be seizing medical cannabis proceeds and that they are not supposed to be spending any funds to do that.
Ooh.
I love the reason for the pullover too here. This is just bullshit.
The dashboard camera video shows eastbound Interstate 70 traffic whizzing past Dickinson County Sheriff's Deputy Kaylin Robinson's patrol car, which is parked crosswise in the median about 3 miles west of Abilene. Robinson suddenly pulls out into the left lane, accelerates rapidly, and within a couple of miles pulls behind a white van, which immediately moves onto the shoulder and stops. As he walks up to the passenger side of the window, or passenger side window of the van, which turns out to be an armored vehicle, he tells dispatchers he believes the van has Colorado plates. He believes.
Right.
Well, could you
Just
not?
look.
I think that'd be pretty obvious. I mean,
Yeah,
well, look, Colorado plates.
Robinson tells the driver he pulled her over because the tag was partially obscured, then asks what she's hauling. From this traffic stop, a series of events unspooled that resulted in more than $1.2 million being seized in what an attorney describes as a court filing as the repeated and continuing highway robbery of armored cars by government agents.
Yes. It's terrible.
Next day, May 18th, 2021, Robinson again stopped the van, this time seizing more than $165,000. By that time, law enforcement officials had placed tag numbers of vehicles owned by Imperial Logistics, the armored vehicle company, into a national database that allows high-speed computerized license plate readers to scan traffic and spot the vehicles. What?
Yeah,
That shit's got to be illegal.
Here comes China.
Oh. You're on a public road.
That's
No,
still
one-
illegal.
That's all the cameras out there and their technology they're getting from
Yep.
China.
Yeah.
So they just take your shit and put it in like, yep, whenever you see this license plate, pull that bitch over.
Pops up, lets you know where they are.
I don't know when the first one was, but the second one was the next day. So it was May 17th, 18th. Now the next one is November 16th.
So basically, they flagged their
So the
plates.
first one was the 17th, and then the 18th,
That's what I just said. Yeah.
The next day.
and then the 9th, and then the 16th. Okay. So on November 16th, the San Bernardino County, California Sheriff's Office stopped another Imperial armored car and seized about $700,000. On December 9th, San Bernardino officers Bernardino.
I think the R is kind of
You're
silent.
trying to
Bernardino.
putting too much into it.
You know, I think I've been watching a lot of English shows and they pronounce all of their words very clearly.
Okay.
Trying to use proper English here. English is not proper at all.
So December 9th, San Bernardino officers again stopped an Imperial armored car, this time seizing about $350,000. The basis for the seizures, according to Imperial, the armored cars are transporting cash from state licensed marijuana dispensaries to financial institutions such as credit unions or banks. Shocked isn't the half of it, said Deidre O'Gorman, Imperial's founder and CEO, describing her reaction on learning that the money from one of the company's armored cars had been seized in Kansas. I've been a banker my entire career, 26 years in the banking industry. After the California seizures, Imperial filed a federal lawsuit against several law enforcement agencies demanding the federal government stop these highway robberies. On Monday, the court denied Imperial's request for a temporary restraining order.
Of course.
The court is compelled to express its concerns regarding Imperial's litigation tactics, District Judge John W. Holcomb wrote. Holcomb advised attorneys for Imperial to stop cutting procedural corners and reminded them that their obligation to be candid with the court. Information gathered from interviews, court documents, police reports, and a viewing of the dash cam video exposes conflict between federal and state laws regarding marijuana and the eagerness of law enforcement officials to justify their urge to smash Imperial into submission.
Why are they targeting them?
Well, it's not like they even have cannabis. They just have money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this goes into yesterday too. It's why the importance of the Safe Banking Act.
Yeah, because you're not supposed to travel with like what, more than $7,000 or something.
What?
No, I mean you can travel with as much
It's an armored truck company. Yeah, they can put as much money in there.
Yeah, I mean even individuals.
So
I mean,
not
if
even
you get pulled
armored
over, it's
trucks are safe.
suspicious, but I mean,
Well, what I don't get is why they can just pull them over and just seize the money.
They flagged their plates, their company plates.
But yeah, I understand what you're
Flagging
saying
for
too,
what,
Michael.
though?
But why? Yeah,
They have no
exactly. What
excuse.
did they do that was so illegal?
Nothing.
from a dispensary.
So that's the whole case.
That
Now,
is
maybe we
that
should-
is
That's
I
the
think
whole
that's why they
case because
targeted them.
it's still federally illegal. So
Because she had asked what
federally-
I think the first time they had asked what they were carrying or whatever, and they were like it was a load, and they probably said they were coming from a dispensary pickup and doing cash, whatever.
Probably was doing cash drops.
Yeah, and then there was like,
course,
oh,
yeah.
okay, so marijuana, okay, yeah. Smells like marijuana in here. We're gonna have to
Smells like
seize this.
marijuana money in here.
Yeah.
Man, they seized millions of dollars, man.
That's
This
too
is
much
crazy,
money.
man. This is
Gorman established Imperial in June 2018 in the Denver area. Today it operates in 28 states. So it's a very large company. I decided to start Imperial with the hopes of trying to fix some of the challenges that I experienced on the other side of the service model, being a financial institution working with armored car companies, O'Gorman said. I prided myself on my career being focused on compliance and helping financial institutions with their Bank Secrecy Act and Anti-Money Laundering Act compliance. It's been everything that we do in every part of the equation for us, making sure that we're following the rules. Gorman said many people think that there are no banks or other financial institutions that will accept money from marijuana dispensaries. There are many that will, at least 700 nationwide, she said, but the banks impose rigorous reporting and record-keeping requirements. It's pretty hefty compliance list, she said.
Yeah.
There are background checks, verification of where the money comes from and where it goes, and monitoring of who gets paid. All of these things are scrutinized at a level in my 26-year banking career I have never seen before. O'Gorman said she is careful to work only with financial institutions that follow these stringent guidelines. The seizures by law enforcement arise from the fact that while 18 states have legalized recreational marijuana use and its medicinal use is legal in 36 states, the federal government still considers both medicinal and recreational marijuana use illegal. So does Kansas.
Oh my God.
Well, that's our cash cow.
Seizing cash vehicles and weapons passing through Kansas has become a high stakes activity, according to Kansas Bureau of Investigation data. Kansas law enforcement agencies since 2019 have seized $8 million nearly from all motorists, with the Kansas Highway Patrol accounting for half of the forfeitures. That's from only the cases that have been resolved. It can take years for disposition of seized cash and vehicles to be determined, and it's not until disposition that details are reported to the KBI. So they could have a ton of cases.
Well, I said that's why the police union is the biggest opponent of legalization, because it's their cash cow. They're making billions off of it every year still, even though we've come this far. 36 states medically. I mean, it's over half the country, for God's sakes. And we all know that the approval rating is in the 70 percentile in most states for even recreational. So this is just a travesty.
So
one of our meetings.
What's that?
One of our meetings, Tom was saying something about that too. I don't remember exactly what he was saying, man, but we keep your money in your area. Try to move it around. Safe banking. We got to pass that, huh?
Yeah.
It just shows the importance
Or
of
keep
it.
getting robbed.
You know, there are some, a lot of millionaires that were, kind of for this, that started their own banks so that they could work with companies, but apparently there's not enough of them.
Well, 700, there's quite a few.
But that's also including actually some actual banks. But when the movement came out a few years ago, there was a bunch of millionaires that got together and said, all right, let's help this problem out. Let's just start our own bank and we'll work with the cannabis companies without all these issues and everything else. But yeah, please continue.
So civil forfeitures are a process that allows law enforcement agencies to seize cash, vehicles, personal property, real estate, and weapons they suspect have been involved in a crime. They don't have to arrest the owner or convict them of a crime. Half the money seized in Kansas since 2019, more than $4 million was forfeited without a criminal case being filed, according to the data provided by the KBI.
Yeah, wow.
Officials need only demonstrate a connection between a property and a crime, but they are supposed to have a legitimate reason for making a traffic stop. The Fourth Amendment requires at least reasonable suspicion or probable cause to stop a vehicle, said Dan Albin, senior attorney for the nonprofit Institute for Justice, which is helping represent Imperial in a California lawsuit. The way highway interdiction works is you get behind the vehicle and you come up with an excuse to pull it over. If you follow someone long enough, they're going to commit some minor traffic infraction.
Yeah, yeah.
There you go.
Confusion over drug laws. Requests filed under the Kansas Open Records Act for copies of reports and recordings made by the dashboard camera were partially granted. There was no offense report written for the May 17th stop, but a copy of the offense report for the May 18th stop and seizure was provided, and the reporter was allowed to view the recorded video. During the first stop, it didn't take Robinson long to pull over the Imperial van, and he wasted no time asking the driver what was in the van and where she was going. The driver quickly explained she was on her way to pick up cash from marijuana dispensaries in Missouri and drive it back to Colorado. She explained exactly how the money is stored and invited Robinson to see the inside for himself. O'Gorman said all the company's drivers undergo extensive training on how to interact with law enforcement. The company's chief of operations is a former sheriff. We're very transparent about what we're doing, O'Gorman said. A fundamental goal is to help law enforcement understand the purpose of her armored cars. We know that it's compliance, it's a complicated patchwork of rules and regulations, she said, but we want to make sure everybody understands. In this case, that effort was not successful. The driver's candor set off.
Take lightly to that.
Well, oops.
What's going on here? Okay, here we go.
Losing control.
The driver's candor set off a flurry of calls between Robinson, the DEA, and the U.S. Attorney's Office in Wichita, which can be heard on the video recording. After some initial head scratching, Drug Enforcement Administration agent Brian Wheeler admitted to being puzzled. I don't think that's necessarily illegal, he told Robinson. It's just strange as hell. It seems like they're a bank operating not as a bank. The authorities are aware that medicinal marijuana is legal in Missouri, but a few minutes later, Wheeler throws out a reason why the activity is prohibited. Wheeler calls Officer Robinson and claims that cannabis proceeds must stay in the state where cannabis is legal and cannot be transported across state lines, said David Bass, a former deputy attorney general in California who worked in the Financial Fraud and Special Prosecutions Unit, in a declaration filed on behalf of Imperial in the California lawsuit. This is incorrect. Based on my professional experience, there is no law indicating that proceeds become illegal when they leave the state. In a phone call to Robinson, Wheeler continues to try to come up with a way to identify exactly what is illegal about the armored car taking money from Missouri business to deposit in a financial institution in Colorado. At one point in the conversation, Wheeler claims that Imperial's operations are bulk cash smuggling, Bass said in his declaration. O'Gorman said that the confusion by law enforcement is exactly what the training of the company drivers is intended to avoid. We only work with financial institutions that offer services to cannabis businesses, she said. We'll have an Imperial go pick up the funds after they have been validated by the bank or credit union, and then we bring those funds back to financial institutions. So we're working with them only after all the due diligence has been done to make sure that those funds came from lawful sales. She was baffled by the money laundering speculation. If they thought there was money laundering occurring, why wouldn't they have contacted the financial institution, she said. Why wouldn't they have confiscated the funds at the business? At the business.
Bart, let's drop a link to this in the chat if people want to continue to read the rest of it. This is a little bit of a longer one. Yeah. And we are almost to our time. We got to get some weather from down Dave. We got to do some updates. We got to do some break dancings and some roller skates. I haven't roller skated for a long time. You guys roller skate?
Yeah, I roller skate.
Sorry, my brain is wandering right now. I hear my kids are downstairs not.
Me too.
What's that?
Customized, painted.
I've got a brand new.
Yeah, they're supposed to be in class. I can hear down there that they're having some complications. Good morning, Jessica Defoe. Good morning to the crew. Yay! Dope. Thanks for that article, Vari and Dave combo. I think that's some interesting stuff there, man. I'm curious to see what goes on with that.
Yeah, and that brings up a question too. Like you said, now our companies have been bought out by out of state.
Exactly.
So how so them transferring money from the dispensaries in Minnesota to their banks or whatever finance. So that's another legal act according to the eyes of the law.
Yeah, tell them
crossing
no.
straight
You can't
lines.
take your money.
So yeah,
I mean, It's kind of crappy, man.
And then it's like pick and choose. You know, certain states are going to go after them, other states are going to say no. That creates confusion. That's unconstitutional. Even as the great Clarence Thomas has said that, you know, you cannot have an illegal market and a legal market at the same time. That's unconstitutional.
Exactly.
So, but yeah.
Oh. With that, we do got a couple of things coming up. If you didn't know, there's a Minnesota Normal monthly meeting on the 19th of February. If you want to get involved in legalization, we'll be having a discussion on the legislative agenda for 2022, as well as opportunities for volunteers to get involved with the actions we're going to be taking this year, including rallies, marches, and things of that nature. So if you do want to get involved in legalization efforts, do get involved in that and check it out. There's also a Minnesota Marijuana Monopoly Tournament. If you haven't seen that, you can go check out Minnesota Marijuana. Otherwise, if you're in the Minnesota Marijuana community, the event is there and it is posted. I don't think we have any other events, do we? No, well, that was pretty quick. Wrap it up. Back to you, Dave.
All right, as usual,
Dabbing
weather's brought to you by windy.com. If you need to know what's going on outside, just click on windy.com or preferably watch our show. So yeah, this morning started off pretty nice. I seen my kid walk out the door in a t-shirt, holding a sweatshirt in his hand. So it's pretty nice out there. We're up to, I believe, like down here, we're already up in the mid 30s, and there are some locations down by Sioux Falls that could be looking, well, actually, yesterday in South Dakota there were some 60s. So that warm air, that wind is, it's a little bit out of the northwest, but it's a Pacific wind. So that's kind of, it's really bringing in some moist, warm air right now. And like I said, we got a system that did, well, probably some of you are experiencing a little snow even at the moment. Still flurries out there in some places, but it's pretty scattered, so shouldn't be too much of a situation with that. I don't think it's, whatever hits the ground is going to melt. I'm really surprised that most of this, if it isn't even raining in some places. But the other thing is, it is a little breezy out there with that wind. We got some gusts up around 35, 40, so sustained around 10 to 15. So, but like I said, it's a warm breeze, so it, I guess there would be somewhat of a wind chill, but I was just outside. It feels pretty decent out there, and it's just going to pretty much stay that way. It's just going to cool off overnight. Tomorrow around 9 a.m. we may see a little bit of the sun. It will be a little chillier than this morning. It's going to be in the teens, and that's when we have the front coming in. We do have we have that cold front that's going to drop in tonight, and then behind the cold front, that's when the system's coming in on Friday. That's the one that's going to leave a big mess. In fact, if you want to go to rain and thunder, Barry, and click on around, I don't know, 7 a.m. or 3 p.m. or so, I think it's going to start. Yeah, it looks like about noon or so. It might be coming in on the west side, working its way through. Front side's going to have snow. Temperature's going to be up by the evening in the 40s. Some places, maybe even here looking at 50s again. But then there's going to be the rain behind it. So shouldn't be too much an issue with slick roads. Temperatures should stay warm enough. In fact, they're going to stay in the 40s overnight. And then again, a little bit of cool down on Saturday. And we're looking for another little peak of sun Saturday morning, and then the clouds roll back in again. And we're just back to that gray 20s and 30s. But there are some more and more 40s popping up. So I think there's a good chance that spring might be on its way. It might be getting close. I think
Shout
we're
out to the
getting
gopher.
melting. I think we're going to lose a lot of snowpack
Or
in
the
the next
groundhog.
couple of days.
The groundhog, not a gopher.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
a
that's
What's that, Barry?
Somebody said he died.
He died.
He
I'm
died?
serious, man. Somebody
Yeah,
said he
one
died.
of them
Are you
did.
serious?
Yeah.
Tuck and Phil. Oh, Tuck and Phil died. Oh no! How will we ever know how much winter we have left to go?
Yeah, that was
It's
like the
infinite.
big
We're
issue.
stuck. We're
I
stuck in
was like,
winter.
yeah, it's just
It's
gonna
just
be
gonna-
winter forever.
Every time I think about a groundhog, I think about that movie. Did you guys ever watch that movie?
Mhm.
Oh, yeah,
Groundhog Day?
absolutely.
Bill
Yes.
Murray.
Yes.
Bill.
So anyway, yeah, decent weather. Besides the rain coming, in the snow. But like I said, I think we're gonna lose all that by the end of the weekend and the next week, and we'll just look at that when we get there. So with that, back to you, Michael.
Anyway, yeah, thanks for the weather, Dave. Anyway, shout out to everybody for joining us every morning for the Canna-Joe Morning Show. We'll try to keep it consistent. Well, actually, we are pretty consistent. Are we consistent?
We're consistent.
Yeah, Jenny had something going on today, so she couldn't make it. So she'll be back tomorrow. Man, we got to get some people on this on the real verse, man. We're gonna have to start, getting some people from the real verse on here.
Who's out
Maybe
there
we
that's
should
got
talk about
something
that.
to say?
What's that?
Who's out there that's got something to say?
Because everybody has something to say.
Where are they?
I don't know, man. They're still looking for their pennies.
Who wants to volunteer to be the camera person?
Camera,
Or we did a final.
camera person.
What are you talking about? Like for Michael's positions?
No, yep. So they are just the camera person, and
So
they
whoever's talking.
they just wear Oculus, and they have to be in a big clear room so they can reach all of us and like zoom in. If they got to zoom in like a real camera.
Well, we can
But
do
they
that.
have to be in a
We
big
can do that on Friday.
Yeah, we'll practice.
We'll have to find somebody. I do have another Oculus headset. Maybe I can put it on the dummy, but he's not going to follow us around and zoom in and
About to
shit.
find a warehouse for him.
Gotta empty out the garage.
Man, hey, when we do this Monopoly tournament, Vari, I think we should bring our Oculus headsets and kind of check it out, see if we can map it out. That'll be a dope ass event if we could do VR. You know what we do? We go there and we when we got some time, we map out, we create a world and we map out the area. And then we start building it in the metaverse. So when we do in-person metaverse events, it's already mapped out. You just go to the world and we're standing in the same area. Everything's in the same places. Anyway, I'm wandering now. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Var, you got some words of wisdom for him today?
I don't like it.
Keep your head up.
Pretty
Anyway,
much.
oh, shout out Jahan. I see you just jumped on. Y'all have a dope day. We'll be back. Same bat time, same bat channel. You know what it is. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Bye.
Oh, wrong music. Shit.